Yes people, and welcome back to AJ Cars, and welcome back to another video on the E46. And today we are going to be doing a top 5 affordable mods you can do to start off your modifying spree, whatever you want to do. These are going to be the top 5 things you need to buy before you buy anything else. Now, I'm not going to talk for too long, but this is my E46. I couldn't afford an M3 like the vast majority of people out there, so we're going to modify this with these 5 simple mods, and I think you guys should too. Let's get straight into it. Now, the first one we're going to go through is de-chroming your trims. Now, most old cars, now this is a 1999, so it's pretty old. It's older than me actually, but chrome trims back in the day look really good. Nowadays, not so much. So the best way to make these look newer or more modern, you could say, or just better in my opinion, I'm not too sure at the minute, because I've obviously got the silver chrome wheels, so they kind of go, but I think the plan is to black these. Now, you can do this pretty easily. All it takes is some black vinyl off the internet. You can get it off eBay, Amazon, anything. It's probably going to cost you £20, and all you need to do is take these off and wrap them black, and that will change the look of these chrome trims. Get rid of that old look and go for a more modern style look. Now, moving on from that, we're doing kind of the same thing, but not at the same time. Everybody does this because it looks way better. Every BMW has got these, and it's black kidney grills. Now, I know everybody does have black kidney grills, but in my opinion, it's because they look the best. Same principle with the chromes on the side. You don't want the chromes on the front because it just looks dated. I've gone for satin black, however, I think I prefer gloss black, so I'll probably end up changing these at some point. You can get both satin, gloss. You could even wrap the original ones if you wanted to, but the fins on the inside probably wouldn't be black, I don't think. I think they're chrome as well. So it's probably going to cost you £30. I think these cost me £29 or something, and they fit perfectly. They look 10 times better on the front. You're kind of taking it away from that dated old chrome look, and you're giving it a new modern black style look, which is probably what we're going to do with these trims as well, so they match. Yeah, black kidney grills. Now, we are going to stay on the front, and next on the list is the headlights. Now, these headlights, you can go multiple different ways. You can either go for LED, which is what I have, which they came with the car, so I didn't actually have to buy them. However, you can go halos, again, which everybody has, but they look better. Or you can go for a different style, keep the original headlights, and you can buy a kit. It's about £40 off eBay, and it basically gives you the rings for the halos. You have to wire them in, obviously. You'll have to take the lens off and place them in. That is one way of doing the halos. Or you can buy the halos. You're looking at around £100–150 for these headlights. Now, I know that it's a bit more expensive than the grills and the vinyl wrap. However, it's still pretty affordable. Completely changing the front end these headlights do. I know headlights, some people don't usually change them, but they do make a huge difference on the front of the car. Another way you can do these headlights is, if you have the original headlights, which, like I said, I don't, you could just change the bulbs on the inside, which is what I did with the Golf. Now, I didn't change the headlights on the Golf. They are the standard headlights that came with it. However, I changed them out to LED bulbs. Now, I think this is a really good idea for if you really wanted to go cheap and you didn't want to spend £150 on headlights. You can quite drastically change the look of them just from a bulb. Now, the Golf has blue bulbs in them, they're LEDs, but they shine blue, which is a bit different. These are my side lights, not my headlights, but when you have the side lights on and they shine blue around the lens, it looks 10 times better, and it probably cost me about £8 for these bulbs. You can find them on eBay again, very, very cheap, and they will change the look of the front of your car. So I highly recommend doing that if you don't want to spend £150 on different headlights. Now, next on the list, which in my opinion changes the car the most, biggest change of the car, and that is lowering springs or coilovers. Now, these lowering springs on a cheap set, a budget set, if you didn't want to spend a lot, are probably going to cost you around £100, maybe even less than that. I saw a set brand new for £75. Now, if you have the right height, I think they were a 35mm drop, which is usually what people go for. You got a nice steady ride height for normal roads, and it changes the look of the car. It gives it a way more sporty look compared to that standard really high arch gap height. It's just awful on standard cars. If you drop it 35mm, which is a reasonably nice height, you'll clear every speed bump and it changes the look. It looks 10 times better. Now your next option is coilovers. Now coilovers for a budget set, again, which you're obviously going to be looking for, you don't want to spend too much. You're looking at around £200, so double what springs are going to cost you. However, if you don't know the right height for your springs, get coilovers, because these are adjustable. They're going to be adjustable for £200, and you can change the height to whatever you see fit. Now I've set it to this. This is probably the highest it's probably going to go, because I can't actually get the rear any higher than that. But that's only because they're 19-inch wheels, so they look quite big on this. But adjustable coilovers, £200, you can't go wrong. If you're not looking for a standard, really smooth ride like on the standard suspension, and you can sacrifice maybe a little bit more bumpy, then adjustable coilovers are the way to go in my opinion. Very cheap, easy to install as well. If you know someone, or just take it to a garage. It won't cost you that much to install them, and it does change the look of the car drastically. And if I'm being honest, they're not actually too uncomfortable. Now finally, last on the list is going to be your exhaust. Now there is absolutely tons of different choices you can go through. I've obviously gone for a single exit Jap style exhaust. However, I know some people that don't like it and they want the twin exit, which is usually what they come with, just bigger tips. You can go non-resonated, decat, cat backs, just take the back box off, just have a back box. There's so many different ways you could do it. Of course, the more full systems that you choose, they're going to be more expensive. However, if you just wanted to, let's say, put a back box on, or just take the resonator out, it's not going to cost you a lot. My back box alone cost me £150. There is loads of different ones at that price if you don't want to spend £600–700 on a full system, or just get a decat, which I wouldn't recommend because obvious reasons. However, they're also pretty cheap. Now you could choose whatever you wanted. They're all going to sound good. £150, you cannot go wrong with an exhaust. So that is it, people. They are 5 cheap-ish affordable mods you could do to your E46 to make it